Jai Mata Di and a very warm welcome to respected guest of honor, our distinguished HODs, faculty member, student council and fellow students. With immense joy and devotion, I welcome you all on the ninth day of Navratri celebration here at Dr. D.Y. Patil Jnana Prasad University School of Management and Research. Navratri is more than a festival of color, dance and devotion. It is a spiritual journey of 9 nights where we invoke the divine feminine energy and reflect on the qualities that makes us stronger, wiser and more compassionate human beings. Let us briefly recall this sacred journey of 9 days. On day 1, as we bowed to goddess Shailputri, we were reminded that true strength comes from purity of heart and the power to stand tall like the mountains. On day 2, through goddess Brahmacharini, we learned the devotion, patience and discipline carve the path toward divine fulfillment. On day 3, with goddess Chandraghanta, we embrace the lesson that courage and serenity together creates a harmonious balance in our lives. On day 4, goddess Kushmanda illuminated our souls with positivity, teaching us that the spark of creation lies within each one of us. On day 5, goddess Kandamata blessed us with the realization that a mother's love, compassion, and protection are the highest form of divine grace. On day 6, goddess Katyayani awakened the warrior within us, showing us that the righteousness and courage must always prevail against injustice. On day 7, goddess Kalratri taught us that fear and negativity dissolves when faded with unwavering determination and faith. On day 8, goddess Mahagauri, we learned that peace, purity, and inner clarity are the true ornaments of the soul. And today, on day 9, as we worship goddess Siddhidatri, we understand that the culmination of these virtues lead to wisdom, perfection, and spiritual awakening. Each goddess not only represents divinity, but also represents and reminds us of the qualities we must nurture within ourselves, like strength, wisdom, courage, and compassion. Today, day 9, we dedicate this day to goddess Siddhidatri. The word Siddhi means spiritual power, perfection, or accomplishment, and Datri means the giver. The blessing, she blesses her devotees with the 8 supernatural powers known as Ashta Siddhis: Anima, Mahima, Garima, Laghima, Prapti, Prakmaya, Ishitva, and Vashitva. Seated on a lotus, radiating divine grace, she is often depicted with 4 arms holding a mace, a lotus, a chakra, and a conch shell. She rides a lion and is considered the completer of Navratri journey, where the devotees move from seeking strength and courage to finally receiving wisdom, balance, and spiritual fulfillment. She represents the highest form of knowledge and realization, reminding us that the true success in life is not only worldly achievement but also inner peace and wisdom. Before we go ahead, let us remember today's goddess with a divine chant. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Siddhidatri Rupena Samstitha Namastasya 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 Namo Namaha. It means salutation again and again to the goddess who resides in all being in the form of wisdom and intellect. May Siddhidatri bless us with knowledge and clarity. The flame of the lamp disciples darkness, spreads wisdom, and inspires us to move from ignorance to enlightenment. To mark the beginning of today's program, may I request our honorable guest, Lieutenant Colonel Meghna Thorat ma'am, HODs Dr. Kiran Kale sir, and Dr. Shikha Dubey ma'am, Vice President of PR and Media, Shreya, and Vice President of CSR, Ku, to kindly come forward and do us the honor for lighting the lamp. Please, ma'am.
शत्रुबुद्धि विनाशाय दीपं ज्योतिर्
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. As the light lamp glows, let it ignite the light of knowledge and wisdom in all of us, guiding us towards success and harmony. In our Indian tradition, honoring a guest is considered equivalent to worshipping the divine, Atithi Devo Bhava. With that spirit, may I now request Dr. Kiran Kale sir to felicitate our esteemed guest, Lieutenant Colonel Meghna Thorat ma'am. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. On this auspicious day, we are blessed to have amongst us the true embodiment of strength, courage, and service of women who reflects the very essence of Shakti that we celebrate during Navratri. It gives me immense pride to introduce our guest of honor, Lieutenant Colonel Meghna Thorat ma'am. Born in Vadodara, Gujarat, she completed her civil engineering from Maharaja Sayajirao Gaikwad University. In June 2010, she cleared the prestigious Service Selection Board 34 at Allahabad. And after undergoing one of the toughest military training at the Officers Training Academy, she was commissioned as an officer for the Indian Army in 2011. Her service record speaks volume of her bravery and dedication have been posted in challenging terrains of Nagaland, Jammu and Kashmir and West Bengal. In 2018 to 19, she was selected for the prestigious United Nations mission on South Sudan, where she served in war-torn countries, contributing a global peacekeeping effort. Her journey is not only inspiring, but also a reflection of Navratri spirit, the courage of Katyayani Devi, the fearlessness of Kalratri Devi, and the compassion of Skandamata Devi. Let us call her up with a huge round of applause.
Good morning, everyone. I couldn't hear. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, that's the very at the beginning of any of our events in Army, like you have heard in the movie How's the Josh? So, yeah, something similar to that. Okay, at the outset, let me thank this wonderful organization for thinking and curating such a beautiful, such a pious event. And thank you so much, organizers, for inviting me over and giving me this pious and wonderful opportunity to be in front of you all and to deliver a lecture or a talk for one complete hour. So when I got to know about this, I really thought, what will I say for 1 hour? And when I came over here and heard the introduction, I thought, oh my God, can be exaggerated and elaborated so much. Thank you so much for the lovely words that you spoke for me. And I'm really humbled and obliged for all the kindness. To start with, I am very sure that it sounds very exciting and kind of, curiosities I could see in all those eyes when you see this picture, right, in uniform. It's very deceptive, it's very this thing happened to me 15 years ago when I was one of the students like you. And it's very exciting when you get to hear that there's some lecture in the auditorium. We are very excited because that 1 hour you get for yourself, no lecture, AC is on, you can turn on, turn off anytime, right? So what happened with me was not very different. While I was doing my graduation from MS University, Vadodara, in our third year, we got to know that, there is one presentation from the Indian Army, and all my friends and myself, we were very excited that, okay, let's bunk the class, go and sit in the auditorium. And we happened to, sit down through the entire presentation. Probably it was around 45 to 50 minutes. And all that I can remember from that entire presentation was such fancy pictures, of smart men and women donning the uniform, looking extremely smart, and all the kinds of activities that army provides uh, leverage, or you get to experience all those things when you are in army. There were activities like horse riding, rock climbing, golf, and whatnot, scuba diving, this, that, shooting. So I was very excited to see all that. And uh, post that presentation, there was a small interview downstairs in our the conference room, wherein there was one officer from the Indian Army, probably of the rank of major, and he was sitting there to, we were a bunch of around 200 to 300 students from the engineering, and so it was like a flash. We just, one is going inside, the other is coming out. The interview was not even more than 10 seconds. So we all just went inside, came out. I don't remember what he asked me, I don't remember what I answered. Okay, that was the end of it. The lecture was over, we were back to our classes, everything was going on. Third year completed, I went to fourth year, placements, I got job, I started my job. And on the fourth or fifth day of my job, I kind of get a call letter from SSB, that is Services Selection Board, right? And so they asked me to come for an interview. And I was just like, who is, I had almost forgotten that something like this had happened. So my friend, so out of entire bunch of around 200 to 300 students, we were only two of us who got this letter. And my friend was super excited because, she has a Fauji background. Her uncle was in Air Force and some other people were in army and all that, so she knew about it. I knew nothing. Okay, I have nobody in my family who has been in army. So for me I was not really looking forward to it as a career option. So till now you must have heard many motivational talks and all that, wherein people come and say that, I have been dreaming about this and I have worked hard and I have achieved it. For me, the dreaming part was still missing, right? So all this happened, and then she forced me to go for the interview, and it was in Allahabad. My parents were a little skeptical whether should we send our girl to this interview and all, but she was confident enough. She booked our tickets without even asking me. Her dad accompanied. We went to Allahabad, and entire journey, she was going through the novels, Manorama, general knowledge, this, that, and I took my upper berth seat and I just slept off throughout my journey, right? Because I was not really keen on getting into that. I didn't knew what was going to come and hit me, right? So we landed in Allahabad and prepared our dress for the next day. And so first day is aptitude test, wherein we are around 70 to 80 girls, cadets, who come, and there's no interaction, no physical interaction. You're just given a piece of paper, aptitude test, you write, and that's it. And you are given the result by the end of the test in another half an hour or so. So okay, out of that entire bunch, we got 28 of us got selected. Rest all have to leave immediately, right? That filter one was done. So me and my friend both got selected. And I was like, okay, now the next step was that there will be 5 days of interview. Okay, let me first tell you, how many of you have anybody in Forge or have a Forgy background? Not bad, good number. And how many of you wanted to join Forge? So, yeah, so what happened? So I think some of you might be aware of this kind of interview, which is not really heard of in many other places, but we have 5 days interview there, which includes variety of things. It has group discussions, tasks and physical activities and a lot more. So all 5 days we kept doing. Like me, I was not really keen on it, but there were other girl cadets who have been giving that interview, believe me, for 5th time, for 6th time, 7th time. They've just been giving it because they wanted to get into it. And I was completely lost. I kept hearing from them, and I started getting inspired that people are spending so much time and effort for this kind of profession which I completely don't even know about it, and still I'm here. So what happened on there was one of the group tasks which we all were given. We were divided into various groups, and in one group, in which I was there, the group was told to cross some obstacle. Now the interviewers who are there, they are called ground technical officers, right? GTOs. So they are highly qualified into all this procedure. So they don't look at you, they don't hear you, they just watch you from one corner. They are completely unnoticed. You will not even come to know that he's sitting somewhere and watching you. So I was not really interested. I thought, let everyone is doing, it's okay, let them do. I'll also pass by. Okay, so at one point of time, my team got stuck because everyone was, just pouring in ideas, and there was hardly anybody to execute it. So at the end, when I thought that now everyone is exhausted and everyone is now looking at me, so I need to do something, right? So that's when I told them, okay, there was, you understand, balli, fatta, a plank of wood tha. So I just told them, I think we should pick up this plank and we'll make a cantilever beam out of it. My civil engineering head started, rewiring. So, and that worked, So the GTO seemingly was very impressed with that. I think that was one of the points why I got selected. Secondly there was another group task which involved physical activities, wherein you have to climb a wall, jump over it and get down. So it's a team task. It's not that you do it and cross it, but you have to ensure that your team crosses it. So in my team, again, all highly motivated people, everyone is just jumping and going across, and there was one poor girl who was not really very good at physicals. So she was not able to cross, and I was the last one. So I just bent down and I told her, you climb on my back and then climb the wall. She did that. She could jump across, and I was the last one. I was hardly 39 kgs that time, so I could do my monkey stunts, and I climbed, then I crossed over. That was second incident which the GTO noted. Why I'm telling you is, these are the qualities inherent to you. You don't practice them. It comes out naturally. So these are the qualities that they look for and they note down. And on the day 5 was an interview, personal interview, in which the interviewer, so first my friend went and thereafter I followed. Right, so he asked her that, there's one seat, one vacancy, and you two are best friends, right? So whom should I select? And this poor girl, she started giving a wrong answer, trying to be diplomatic. She said, sir, I think you should consider some policy changes or something, she said. But she did not give a direct answer that you select me. Okay, and the next after her was my turn. So although I was least interested into getting into that because I didn't know what it is, right? But when that question was asked to me, I simply answered, sir, if you will ask me, I'll say, hire me or you select me. So he said, okay, that's the end of the interview, you can go. When I came out, I thought, why would he ask me like that? But that was my instant reaction. And that is what they look while selecting, that you have to be courageous enough to take decision in a difficult situation. Your decision need not be perfect. It might not be right at that point of time, but you need to have the courage to take decision, right? Does this sound similar to corporate world? Many of these things do apply very much to corporate world as much as it applies to the military world, right? So after that, I got to know that I'm selected, and I started crying. I told my friend, where have you pushed me into? All that thing happened, and I joined the academy Officers Training Academy in October 2010, correction. So, so what I'm trying to get you all into is, before I proceed further, is that many times you feel that I don't know what to do, where should I go, what is my aim in life. But sometimes the universe comes to help you, right? Does it make sense to all? Yes. All you need to do is grab that opportunity. It will come to each one of you. It might be a big opportunity, it might be a small one, but it does come to each one of you. The only thing we need to realize is that when it comes, then we should not turn our back or start doubting ourselves that whether I'll be able to do it or not. Then there is no looking back. If you are committed to something, you fulfill it, right? So I joined the academy, and again, I didn't know which missile was going to come and hit me, but it was the most challenging year of my entire life. I had not imagined, probably I had not known about it. That's why I was not very tensed or anxious about it, because I just didn't know. There were many friends of mine who started, when we joined, they started telling ki aisa ragda hota hai. I don't know if you would have heard about this term. So it's called ragda. So wherein you are made to start rolling into the drainage systems, and you have to carry your friend on your back and all those things. So they break you down mentally, so much so to the level that you start feeling I am nothing in this world, right? So that's what the training did to us. They brought us to ground zero. Whosoever, everyone came from different backgrounds, but to make them an officer is a very challenging task. And that's how it started. 1 year we did rollings, and I had never imagined that I'll be doing an endurance run of 40 kilometers. So it starts at night and morning it completes, and you have to carry a backpack of 20 kgs on your shoulders with a rifle, and at times you have to carry rifle of your friends also, because it's a company task. Your company has to win, not just you, right? So it was indeed very challenging. I would say my entire 14 years of service will be on one side, and that 1 year of training will be on other side. Because I could make through that training, I did not give up. That is why probably I could, enjoy the rest 14 years of service as a commissioned officer. Okay, at the end of the training, I realized that human body is very magical. If a person like me who is 39 kgs can do so much, I realized it's all just a game of your mind. If you decide, you can do it, right? After completing my training, a very funny incident I would like to share with you, right? So there was this last day of an academy wherein I was seated like all of you, and that is the day when officers from our higher headquarters, they come down and they allot a regiment to each individual officer who is going to get commissioned. Okay, so till that time I come from a very humble background, and unlike Gen Zs who have bucket lists and Instagrams, it was not there that time. So all our school and college vacations used to be, I stay in Gujarat, so it used to be Maharashtra. We used to visit all temples in Maharashtra and go to all relatives' place, and that used to be vacations for you, right? So I had really not imagined any other places that, rather I had not been to any other places than Maharashtra and down south. So the event started with women cadets, women officers, and that too technical officers, and in that it started with my name as the first. So when they said lieutenant, we get commissioned as lieutenant. So they said Lieutenant Meghna Thorat, and there is a term called NRS that says nearest railway station. Okay, So they give a station. They don't tell you where you will get posted. They'll tell you a railway station nearby. Okay, then you have to figure out. So they said NRS is Dimapur. Has anyone of you heard Dimapur? So I was not the only one, right? So I got up. The protocol was that you have to get up, they'll announce, and then you sit down. So when they said Dimapur, I was very happy. You know, I have been to Maharashtra so many times. There are places like Kolhapur, Pandharpur. So this is Dimapur, and I was very happy with it. Right? I sat down. The moment I sat down, my course mate, she said, "Wow, congratulations! You're going to Nagaland." And I was like, "What?" I got up from my seat and they pulled me down. They said, "Yes, relax. It's a place. It's a financial capital of Nagaland." Okay, so that was my step one. And when my parents got to know about it, they literally had panic attacks that, what are we getting into? So it was a very funny anecdote, which now I feel it's such a beautiful place. If you all have not heard of it, you must search and you must visit. It's a very beautiful place in Nagaland, and there is untouched natural beauty out there. Right? So I reported to my unit, and there were 800 plus men in my first tenure, in my first regiment, and I was the only woman officer. Right? And when I joined, I didn't know how to respond, how to react, or how to, communicate with so many men around. I had literally no one. But when I realized, I just asked myself, what are the key principles that the academy or the training institute taught me? And they helped me sail through the entire tenure, such that today, when I got retired and when I stand, the men with whom I served in 2011, they also have retired, most of them. But till date, I get all messages for all kinds of, Independence Day, Republic Day, Diwali, Dashera, all kind of events. That's a bond. That's a kind of bond that you create, right? So, friends, I would like to harp upon 4 key principles that I learned in my academy, which helped me in my entire career, and which I am sure will definitely help you all wherever you go, whatever you do. These key principles, please keep in mind, will always be there to support you when you feel you are stuck. The first and the most important is that integrity is non-negotiable. You agree with me? You need to prioritize integrity over everything else, right? You will face situations wherein you will have to count numbers, since you are from business, backgrounds, MBA students and all that. You will be facing situations wherein your company has to count numbers and this and that. But believe me, you need to draw the threshold, right? That this I will not accept, or below this I'll not go. This is my threshold, and that will always save you. That will always help you and your organization rise to greater heights, right? Second important principle is leadership is not a position. You agree? You cannot just stand up and say, I am the leader, and you become a leader. Does it happen like that? No. The people have to accept you as a leader. It's more of a responsibility, right? In military, when you are a leader, if you order something, right, it will be done. The men are trained in such a way, men as in the soldiers, the Jawans, they are trained in such a way that tomorrow if an officer who is commanding them tells him to, jump off, he will not apply his mind. He knows that his safety is being taken care of by the officer that is commanding, right? So, what I am trying to bring down is that leadership comes with a huge amount of responsibility. if you are a leader, the people below you will follow you, whatever you will say. Similarly, if I say for corporate world, you will be leaders, you will be managers, you will be entrepreneurs. But remember, people are more important than numbers. Right? If you have a very good team, you will sail through any challenges. Numbers, it's like stock market. It will rise, it will fall, it will again rise. But if you are not able to manage a good team, then I would say that is not really a kind of success that you should quote, right? Because earning respect and maintaining it is very difficult, especially in today's time when every second day you start hearing about layovers, this layover, that layover. It might sound very fancy, but it's very difficult for people who go through it. So you need to understand, when you become those people in charge, please keep in mind that your people are the most important assets that you have. Third important point is adaptability is survival. Agree? So I did my first tenure in Nagaland. From there I was sent to Jammu and Kashmir, Akhnur. From there I was sent to West Bengal. So I have been like traveling all across. Then I had also got lucky enough to get posted in Lonavala once. And from there I had gone to a UN mission. How many of you have heard about United Nations mission? So Army, Navy and Air Force, they are, they work with the United Nations. The armies of all different worlds, all different countries, they work together for peacekeeping missions, right? So the country where I was posted was South Sudan. Are you all okay? I'll be back? Yeah. Okay. So South Sudan is a war-torn country. Believe me, when I landed there, there is only one airstrip in the entire country where all flights land. Rest all is just rugged terrain. When the flight lands, you feel like you are in a bullock cart. That kind of country. And when you get to go around the country, you feel the only thing that struck me the first time when I landed there was how blessed I am to be born in India. We just don't know our value because we get everything so easily. There are countries in the world who are facing basic amenities problems like roads, food to eat, clean drinking water. These are their challenges. Just imagine, right? Aren't we so lucky now? Yes? So, the country has given us a lot. And when you all young bright sparks at this juncture, when all of you are deciding, okay, I'll be an entrepreneur and I'll be joining this firm and that firm, please keep one thing in mind. All your efforts should have one backbone, that is nation building, right? We all must become those citizens that the Indian Army should feel worthy of fighting for, isn't it? Yeah. And out of the 4 principles, 3 I've already discussed. The 4th one is diversity builds strength. So when of my all tenures, 6 tenures I've had in Army, I have been to all different places, totally different set of people, totally different cultures, especially in United Missions. So we had one office wherein, I am sitting next to me, there is an officer from Rwanda, next to him there is an officer from New Zealand and Australia and all of us, right? And just imagine the beauty of that organization, that we all are working for a third country for its development. We all come from totally different backgrounds, totally different ethos, but our mission was one, right? So what I'm trying to say is that when you will join your firms or you will have a startup of your own, you will face many people from all different cultures and different places in India. But the key to innovation is resilience, and the fact that if your mission is common, no matter where you come from, no matter what is your background, what are your ethos, if your mission is shared and understood to down below to each and every person, you are going to succeed. There is no doubt about it, right? Okay. So now coming on to my transition journey, I opted to get retired on completing 14 years of my service. I recently did my graduation from IIM Bangalore. I did business management program. It was a 6 months program for defense officers because we are not used to all this what do you call KPIs and OKRs and these terms are totally new for us. We've never heard of it. But so to bring us on to this kind of environment and this kind of settings, we are exposed to this program. It goes around in all IIMs, and I selected Bangalore for it. So when I went into IIM, when I stepped into IIM, I realized military life was pretty much easier. The challenges were only mental, but apart from that, you were really well taken care of, right? The struggle is real in the outside world. You don't know what is. I mean, in in regiment, you don't have to apply much of your brain, right? If you have a senior, you know that he will take care of you, and you will grow. We all grow together, and I so wish that similar kind of environment prevails in corporate, and it is you people, it's in your hands to kind of develop that kind of culture. We need not just follow what has been following. You can always create a mark. So when I joined and when the professor started teaching and all, we were completely lost. And he's saying that I have done this and I have done that, and we started wondering that in our 14 years we really never thought about that this is my passion. How many of you are sure this is my passion? How many of you know that something called hobby, there's something called passion, right? Agree? How many of you are sure about what my passion is? I am not sure yet. You're sure? That's very good thing. So people in life, please take out 5 minutes every day, right? Morning, evening, whenever. Apart from scrolling our mobiles, just keep them aside for some time. Just do a deep thinking, as in what is something that excites you to do. It can be anything, right? It can be gardening, it can be whatever. Just ask yourself, what is that one thing I can do forever for my life, even if I'm not getting paid for it. Whether I can make money out of it or not, but I really enjoy doing it, right? And that doesn't come naturally. You have to experiment. You have to keep experimenting, right? Some people are fond of reading. Some people are fond of writing, keeping journals, right? Believe me, life is very short, to be very honest, right? And there's no time to waste. The moment you realize that this is my passion and I really like doing it, there's nothing more beautiful than that. So please, when you go back, ask yourself this one question, that what is that thing which I would like to do for the rest of my life and which will keep my inner self happy, because there is no end to earning money. You will earn more, you will spend more, right? But there is a limit to it. Like if someone is having all that, 40 and 50 ka package mila, do you really spend that amount? No. You will buy 3 houses, 4 houses, you will buy 10 cars. What next? You will invest. है ना? So, if you are able to hone down onto your passion, that can be something which you can take on as a part-time job or a part-time session to fulfill your passion. right? It can be some social service, it can be going into some villages and teaching some students. That gives a kick, that gives a happiness to many people, right? So please analyze yourselves, and it will take time, it's a long journey. Okay. Friends, there are certain key takeaways that I have drawn from my innings so far, which I want you all to absorb as much as you can. The first is that dream audaciously, but execute relentlessly. Of Sindoor, all had heard of it, right? All were glued to it. A classic example, right? That no matter what you dream, but if you have not worked hard for it, and hard work doesn't come overnight, it's a continuous process. We have been keeping track of all datas, and we have been upgrading ourselves to the level that yes, if today someone gives orders, go fire, we fire pinpoint, right? That applies equally to all your careers as well. Keep working hard day in, day out. That will never go fade. That will never go waste, right? Second, lead with empathy. I have discussed upon it, but yes, your people, your team matters the most. Money should come secondary, right? Embrace failures, but don't fear it. How many of us are, scared of failing? How many of us? Yeah, most of us. It takes time to decide that no matter how many times I fail, if I have decided to achieve something, I'll keep trying. Right? Agree? Success should not be measured in terms of money. It should be measured in terms of how many people remember you at the end of your journey and what legacy you leave behind. Right? So far, it's only me who has been talking. I think let's have some conversation wherein young sparks from amongst you who feel, there's something that I need to clarify. Is there someone? I hope it was not very boring. Actually, it's the first time that I'm delivering a lecture like this, right? And in Forge, people are very reluctant to speak, but once they get the mic, then don't leave it. Then it's very difficult to stop them, right? And most of us the training somehow it's so ingrained in us. Like in our academy, we used to have one day when there was a movie screening, okay? And we literally used to wait for it because that's the time you get undisturbed sleep. None of your seniors, none of your instructors will come and wake you up. We remember the first screen, that is the name of the movie, and the end. That's it. Nothing in between. We were so exhausted that we never used to sit and watch a movie. I don't remember one single movie that I have watched in my academy. But that was the best time of our entire week. And also one funny thing, when I went on my first leave of 3 days during our training, so there's one very funny picture of mine in our family that, my elder brother, I have one elder brother, so he said, come, let's go, we'll have ice cream outside. So I said, okay. And there was a couch in our drawing room, and I was sitting there with, how do you sit घर के couch पे? ऐसे पैर ऊपर डाल के, right? So I'm sitting like that. एक shoe मैंने पहन लिया है and I have dozed off. It was that maddening, And also because when you join training, तो girls के बाल काट देते हैं, right? It's a zero cut throughout academy because It's in Chennai. Chennai में गर्मी बहुत ज़्यादा होती है. Anyone from Chennai here? No? It's the most pathetic weather condition of Chennai for any training academy to survive. Okay, so बाल पूरे काट देते हो and I was okay with it. मतलब मेरे पहले भी छोटे बाल रहे हैं, but there were friends of mine जिनके इतने लंबे बाल थे and they were literally crying. और उन्होंने ऐसे चोटी बनाई थी अपनी, और जब वो अम्मा काटती है तो वो चोटी पैक करके लेके गए अपने साथ. So बिल्कुल छोटे बाल कर देते हैं. You can't recognize yourself in the mirror if you stand. I don't see any of the boys also having that kind of छोटा बाल जितना हमारा अकेडमी में होता था. तो when my parents first came to meet me, I am standing like at the door and my parents are seated here in the visitors room and they are not able to recognize me. I was wearing shorts and t-shirt जो हमारा अकेडमी का ड्रेस होता है, and they are not able to recognize me. And then I have to say like, hello, it's me. And then my mom started, crying and this and that. Oh no, what did these people do to my girl, and all those kind of things. Okay, but that kind of trains you to, forget that you are beautiful, because hair is considered to be a beauty standard for a woman, right? So in academy there's no gender. You are all at the same level. You do all training equal to what the boys do. You run 5 kilometers every day, every single day, and then you do the drill, the marching which you have seen at Republic Day, right? And after that you have your lessons, like you have to sit in classroom and study, which is the most difficult thing, because कोई जग ही नहीं पाता इतना सुबह ट्रेनिंग करने के बाद. इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू कीप योर आईज ओपन, राइट? वो टॉम एंड जेरी में जैसे आंखें बनाते हैं ना, वैसा होता है. एंड द टर्म्स एंड कंडीशंस ऑफ द क्लासरूम आर दैट इफ यू आर कॉट स्लीपिंग, राइट, द पनिशमेंट इज, सो देयर आर ग्रिल्स ऑल अराउंड द विंडो. ओके, तो आपने टंग जाना है उसके ऊपर. यू हैव टू लिटरली हैंग लाइक अ स्पाइडरमैन. सो दे कॉल दैट पनिशमेंट टू बी स्पाइडर वुमन, क्योंकि हमारा लेडी कैडेट्स का क्लास था तो सारे ऐसे दीवारों पे चिपके होते हैं. इट्स वेरी फनी, बट दैट्स हाउ इट कीप्स यू अवेक. दैट इज द एम बिहाइंड दोज क्लासेस. सो वी हैव क्लास टिल अराउंड 1. देन यू गो हैव योर लंच करके वापस रूम पे जाओ, हाफ एन आवर चेंज, फिर गेम्स पीरियड होता है. सो यू हैव टू कम बैक. लिटरली मतलब आपको पूरे एक साल में यू कैन नॉट स्लीप मोर देन 4 hours. दैट्स द काइंड ऑफ रूटीन दे हैव. एंड अकेडमी मतलब इवन बैरिक्स के अंदर वी यूज्ड टू हैव डॉर्मेटरीज. सो देयर इज 1 senior 1 junior, 1 senior 1 junior. सो अगर इंस्ट्रक्टर नहीं है तो सीनियर्स काफ़ी है. दे विल इंश्योर यू हैव योर gala time. So they will make you do all stupid stuff. I can't even tell you what all kind of punishments that we are made to do. We very funny, few of them are like you are made to drink water. So till the time your senior tells you to stop, you have to keep drinking. Yeah, that sounds funny, but चटकी सारे होते हैं, So ये सारी चीज़ें are officially not allowed in the academy. Although the instructors ही बताते हैं seniors को कि आज तुमने juniors को रगड़ना है, ठीक है, but बोलना नहीं है. तो हम भी क्या करते थे, ऐसे पीछे एक लॉबी होती थी, उसमें वी यूज टू स्टैंड, तो टॉवल्स लटके होते हैं. तो वन विल गल्प वाटर, गो एंड spit it in the towel, because you can't finish like 2 buckets of water if you are given. Will you be able to drink? No. Then at times what happens is you are not allowed to keep any edibles, right? I being from Gujarat, Vadodara, you can't survive without the khakras and theplas. So my cupboard used to be full of all stuff. And एक बार मैं पकड़ी गई, है ना. और what I used to do was I used to distribute it with my friends also. They used to look forward to it कि कब कुछ खुल रहा है और मिल रहा है टाइप में. तो एक बार ऐसा हुआ कि ये पता चला सीनियर्स को, तो इन्होंने एक बड़ा सा वो मंगाया, टब जैसा प्लास्टिक, और बोला निकाल दो सारा. Everything was taken out of all. सबकी अलमीरा चेक हुई, सबके में से कुछ ना कुछ निकला. ठीक है, there were bottles of च्यवनप्राश, almonds, protein powders and what not. तो सबको मिक्स किया. Everything was mixed in that one nice bucket. We all juniors are made to, sit and mix it nicely. For 2 hours we were only mixing it. And that Chyawanprash was such a killer. Okay? And then all juniors were made to eat that. So that day was the last time we had all these kind of things. After that we said, okay, we'll manage without it. 1 year is no big deal, but we will not be having all such kind of stuff, right? So yeah, there are so many things to, so many funny incidents that today we sit and share and laugh, but when you go through it, it takes a mental toll on you. Yeah. So I think I've spoken enough. I would like to answer if anyone has any queries or doubts or anything funny which resonates with what I have said. If you would like to share something with me, I'd be very glad. Anyone?
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, I don't have anything funny to ask, but it's a bit of a serious question.
Yes.
Like,
Please don't ask on S400s and confidential information, right?
No, ma'am.
Yeah,
Ma'am.
please. Can you stand up and
Yes,
say your
yes,
name,
ma'am.
please?
Ma'am, my name is Utpal Singh.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. I am from Finance Division.
Okay.
MBA. So-
Important guy.
No, ma'am. I wanted to ask, like, we as young people, how can we contribute to national security as we are not part of armed forces still? Like, how can we do that?
Yeah, very nice and very valid question, right? Please sit down. Okay, so there is one thing I forgot to share that I just come on to your answering your question. I recently joined one startup as a strategy head for defense and space, right? And why I'm telling you this is it's nation building. I was so amazed by the idea of this startup, and there are young boys, like the founder is probably 7 years younger to me, right? Have you heard of a startup called Simply Forge? I don't think so. So it's in 3D printing of concrete structures. Very new in thing, 3D printing, additive manufacturing, right? So these people, these young bunch of boys, they are going to such remote places. The idea behind their startup is so noble and so close to my heart that the Jawans, like when I came here in the morning, I was sharing this with the staff that with the professors that today's time, the Gen Zs, I don't think they need motivation. You guys are so motivated already. Like for someone of 22, 25 years old to think of having his own firm in itself is so captivating for me. Like if I look at me, I was like, even when I landed in the interview, I was not sure whether, what do I want to do next, right? So you guys are already contributing so much to nation building, right? By like army or navy or air force is not the only option for nations, nation building and securing our nation. There's so many other things which are much more important than just guarding your boundaries, right? Yes. So the first and foremost thing is that whatever you do, wherever you go, keep nation building as your prime motto, and you will never go wrong. If you want, this startup, what I was trying to bring down is they saw how the Jawans are staying in remote conditions, in extreme weather conditions where there are no roads. The weather is such that it dips to minus 40 degrees. You've heard of Siachen glaciers? How difficult people who live there, they have memory loss, they have hair loss, they have so many medical conditions. But yet, we serve there 24/7, 365, right? What you as young minds can contribute is think of innovations. There are so many avenues for you all to apply your brains and come up with solutions with the present government's motivating so many young entrepreneurs to come up with such a bright spark. So this startup decided that okay, there is a robotic arm which can be taken to any location, and with the locally available materials, it can print a blast-proof, bullet-proof structure like घर जैसे हम घर में रहते हैं, जवान किस में रहते हैं, शेल्टर में, ठीक है. तो शेल्टर अब तक कन्वेंशनल जो होता ना वो पतरे का शेल्टर है, ठीक है, 2 पतरे हैं, 2 tin sheets with a puffed panel in between that hardly gives any warmth, right, when the temperatures are dipping down so much. But when this startup came with this noble idea, it was a super hit. Today they are building bunkers across the borders. Within 3 days a bunker is ready, which conventionally takes so much time and so much effort to build, and that to a level wherein he can only take shelter from snowfall directly on him. That's it. That doesn't give any other protection. So this, I believe, is much more important than just standing and securing your nation on the boundaries. I hope all of you are able to transmit it and able to absorb it. Yes. So it is upon all of you to apply your bright brains and bright sparks and come up with some solutions which can help us in nation building. And remember, most of us, like I come from Gujarat, वहाँ पे सबका एक ही एम होता है, फाइल बनाने की और यूएस जाने का, है ना. दैट इज बचपन से वो इनग्रेन्ड होता है कि कनाडा जाना है, टू दैट एक्सटेंट कि जब वो मैरिज की पत्रिका आती है ना, उसमें ब्रैकेट में लिखा आता है यूएसए वाला, कनाडा वाला. आई मीन, राइट. सो प्लीज all of you decide upon yourself how can you contribute to this nation building. We are already on 4th gear of our the pace which we have picked up in last 10-15 years, and it's the brightest spot in our system, in the entire solar system, that is India. So with that I would like to conclude. I hope is there any other question, please? Yeah, please.
गुड मॉर्निंग मैम, माय नेम इज अनुराग, आई एम फ्रॉम फिनटेक डिवीजन. तो मैम, जैसे आपने बोला कि आप आर्मी बैकग्राउंड से नहीं थे, तो आपको ऐसा लगा नहीं कभी कि जो ग्रेजुएशन में गुड जॉब लेते हैं और वही कंटिन्यू करते हैं, ऐसी क्या चीज़ थी आपको मोटिवेट किया कि आर्मी में जाना है?
मैंने जैसे बोला कि जाने तक मुझे कोई श्योरिटी नहीं थी कि मुझे आर्मी में जाना है. समटाइम्स यू शुड लीव इट टू गॉड, आई वाज डेस्टाइन्ड टू बी इन आर्मी, टू बी, मतलब to answer in a nutshell, I was happy to settle with my 9 to 5 job, और मैंने start भी कर दी थी job. God's angel वो था मेरे लिए, my friend. She wanted to go, और भाई friends को अकेला तो नहीं छोड़ सकते, right? तो उसने बोला यार मैं अकेले कैसे जाऊँ, तू भी चल साथ में. That's how I went. That's how I appeared. I did not give any extra effort to that interview. Probably it was in my luck that I landed. That's why I said in the beginning of my lecture that most of the motivational talks that I hear, I sometimes I start doubting myself. That like one of my seniors, she is into TEDx and all, and she has faced a lot of hardships. Listen, she has faced a lot of hardships, and she had decided to get into it. And I felt, why was I not sure what do I want to do? But here what I want to bring out is it's perfectly okay if you don't know what you want to do, right? No time is late. You can sit and decide, let it take time, but give that effort that I want to identify what gives me joy. पैसा तो कमाना ही पड़ेगा to survive, right? But आपने अपना एक छोटा सा गोल बनाना बहुत ज़रूरी है. Keep making small goals, keep achieving them, enjoy those achievements, then make next goals, right? But don't leave everything to destiny also. So it's a mix of destiny and hard work एंड देन जब आपको लगने लगता है ना कि हाँ मैं हार्ड वर्क कर रही हूँ तो मुझे इसका रिजल्ट मिल रहा है, तो इट इज़ वेरी एडिक्टिव. देन यू स्टार्ट wanting to do more and more. So that's how my journey is a little different from most of the people who go for such talks and all. I have been kind of lazy in my initial years, but then I picked up late. So yeah, that's all. Anyone else? Yeah.
Good morning, ma'am. My name
Morning.
is Sejal. So my question is, can you tell us some of the obstacles you faced throughout your journey?
Yeah, please sit. There are many obstacles that we all face in our day-to-day life, right? And most of our obstacles, we all generally belong to a middle class background, right? Unless you are born with a silver spoon. But most of us face the same struggles. At this point of time, if I little zoom out and think, तो जो मुझे उस टाइम पे स्ट्रगल लगता था वो आज की डेट में मेरे लिए कोई स्ट्रगल नहीं है, राइट? इट हैपेंस विथ यू ऑल ऑल्सो. जब 10th में थे तब लगता था ओ गॉड ये सब्जेक्ट तो इट्स सच अ स्ट्रगल, पता नहीं कैसे करूँगा. नाउ यू आर हियर डूइंग योर MBA. इफ यू लुक बैक यू विल रियलाइज यार आई वाज सच अ फुलिश पर्सन टू कॉल दैट एज अ स्ट्रगल. ठीक है, very quickly, I don't want to take much time, but this reminded me of one incident. I was doing my training, as in training exercise with my regiment. ठीक है, and ब्रह्मपुत्र रिवर सुना है सबने, है ना? वहाँ पे हम अपना ब्रिजिंग का ट्रेनिंग कर रहे थे एंड एक कुछ अनटोवर्ड इंसिडेंट हुआ एंड वी ऑल गॉट ड्राउन. ठीक है, I was also part of the drowning committee, which we now feel, oh God, that was so scary. We could all have got washed out completely. ठीक है, that incident happened, and I'll not go much into detail of it, but we drowned at 6 in the evening, and we were out of the water 11 at night, right? And that was a month of I think September, October, जिस टाइम पे ऊपर से बर्फ का पानी आ रहा होता है. सो इट इज फ्रीजिंग कोल्ड वाटर. ठीक है, एंड 4 to 5 hours of struggle. 2 or 3 of my colleagues, their bodies had turned blue. One of them is my husband now. Okay, so this incident, after it happened, only made me realize कि यार बाकी सारे प्रॉब्लम्स बहुत छोटे हैं. इफ़ यू आर अलाइव, बी हैप्पी अबाउट इट. प्रॉब्लम्स क्या है, आज है कल नहीं होंगे, कल नए प्रॉब्लम्स होंगे, कभी ख़त्म नहीं होंगे प्रॉब्लम्स, कभी स्ट्रगल्स ख़त्म नहीं होंगी और होनी भी नहीं चाहिए, वरना देयर इज़ नो फन इन लिविंग, राइट? अगर प्रॉब्लम्स है तो हम खड़े रहेंगे, विल फाइट फॉर इट, विल फाइंड मेक अ वे आउट एंड देन विल फेस अनदर प्रॉब्लम. सो एज लॉन्ग एज आपके हाथ पैर सलामत है, you are alive, that is the biggest blessing. Believe me, जब ये इतना ज्ञान मुझे पहले नहीं था, बट जब ये इंसिडेंट हुआ it opened my eyes that सही में अगर मतलब if we are alive तो सब कुछ है, नहीं तो क्या है, right? Agree? Yes. So you all are a very blessed lot. Please keep this in mind that yes, I am the lucky chosen one. I will give my best to whatever is my capability, and I will take care of my family whenever it needs, right? Be there for them. Life is short. You never know what tomorrow has in store for you. Take care of your parents. They have struggled a lot to bring you here. जब तक you don't become a parent, you will not realize that. Believe me, I have a 4-year-old son. Now I feel, how did my mom manage all that, raising 2 kids and going through all that. We are still a blessed lot. हमारे यहाँ काम वाली बाई भी आती है, डिश वॉशर भी है, सब कुछ है. Still we want to kind of say बहुत struggles है. So keep your stress levels down. Do something which gives you motivation. Listen to motivational talks. Do meditation. work out, do some physical activity, at least 30 minutes, right? Stay away from junk foods, eat healthy, live clean, and you are already halfway there. So very soon I hope to see all of you as some CEOs and CFOs and CEOs in some good firms, or have your own startups, right? It was a pleasure meeting you all. Thank you so much, and I'll share my number with Professor Jena. Yes, she already has my number. Any one of you who feels like you want to ask something, or you feel stuck somewhere, I'll be more than happy to help you all, right? Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. From giving an interview, getting selected not once but in all the rounds, starting your journey alone, and overcoming all the challenges, you are the true form of Goddess Ratri, ma'am. If you decide you can do it, it is all about the mindset. We are really grateful and honored with your presence here today, and thank you so much for taking your time for sharing your inspiring story with us. Let us all appreciate her with a huge round of applause. Just as each day Devi blessed us with a virtue, the 9 remarkable women who joined our Navratri session became living example of these values. Their journeys, struggles, and success taught us that Shakti is not just a divine concept, it is alive within each one of us. As we conclude today's celebration, I take this opportunity to express my heartfelt gratitude to our guest of honor, Lieutenant Colonel Meghna ma'am, for gracing us with your inspiring presence and showing us what true strength and service to the nation looks like. Special thanks to Honorable Dr. Somnath Patil sir, whose vision has shaped Dr. D.Y. Patil Jnana Prasad University School of Management and Research into a hub of knowledge and culture. Sincere thanks to our respected Dean and Director, Dr. Vishal Vadachkar sir, for his constant guidance and support, to our HODs and faculty members for guiding and supporting us in each endeavor, and to our student council to the tireless efforts in planning and executing these 9 days of celebration. And finally, to all the students for your energy, devotion and spirit that made 2025 Navratri a grand success at DYP DPU School of Management and Research. On this sacred 9th day of Navratri, may Goddess Siddhidatri bless us with wisdom, unity and strength. With folded hands, I thank you all and conclude today's celebration. Thank you and Jai Mata Di.